Welcome, welcome, one and all, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. I want to thank everyone. In this brave audience right here. Everyone in this audience who braved the cold outside to come in here and be even colder because today New York City was pummeled by a nor'easter, including a heavy dusting on the marquee at the Ed Sullivan Theater. Leading up to this storm, officials forecasted up to 8 inches of snow. Of course, as is usually the case, that 8 inches is more like a confident 5. But you know what they say? You know what they... You know what they say? It's not about the depth of the snow, it's how you plow it. Thank you. Back in the day, snow used to mean no school, but not anymore, because instead in New York, students had a remote learning day. As in, the chances of learning? Remote. The early morning snowstorm, is this true? It depressed turnout in a very important special election today in New York, the race to replace George Santos. The candidates for that Long Island seat are Republican Mazi Pilip and Democrat Tom Suozzi. It's a showdown we're calling Mazi v. Suozzi, Democracy Kamikaze on Long Ozzy. The Republican, it's going to catch on. No, that's okay. Doesn't deserve that. The Republican has an unusual resume. She's a local legislator and a registered Democrat. A Republican who's a Democrat. Thanksgiving must be really hard. She gets in a fight with herself, then sneaks away from herself to get high in the garage. We don't know the results yet, right? We don't know anything because we recorded this earlier. Okay, but we do know the race was tight and the stakes are high. The GOP has this razor-thin majority in the House of Representatives, and they need all the votes they can get for their election year ambitions to impeach Alejandro Mayorkas or even President Biden. Long Islanders could decide the fate of Congress. Explains the first bill that Suozzi has promised to pass, H.R. 273, the Beatles couldn't hold Billy Joel's freaking jockstrap. Now, a lot of people are looking at this as a bellwether for the presidential election. One Republican voter described her priorities.
I supported Mazi because I think she's a little tougher on crime. And to be honest with you, that's what the whole country is afraid of, the crime. We don't care about democracy. That's already done.
We don't care about democracy? Donald Trump, I think I found your new VP. Now, that's done. Democracy, schmocracy. A lot of Democrats voted early in this election, so Republicans needed a big turnout today, which is why they hatched a brilliant plan to get voters to the polls, even in the snow.
Republicans here say if voters can't get to the polls, they have monster trucks at the ready to pick them up and get them to the polls.
Oh, yeah, this Tuesday, it's Special Election Monster Jam, live from Long Island, featuring the enfranchiser, El Ballot Loco, and Governor Kathy Hochulsaurus. To quote the 4 words most often used to cancel vacations, there's some COVID news. We just learned that the CDC plans to drop its 5-day COVID isolation guidelines. What? No isolation? You've been telling us for years that we need to be mindful of infecting our friends and neighbors. They also announced this new CDC slogan, JK lols. One of the reasons why this is such big news is because it's the first loosening of COVID isolation recommendations since 2021, which is when they told us it was finally okay to leave our personal human hamster balls. So what do the guidelines actually say? Well, from now on, you are free to go back to your life if you're fever-free for at least 24 hours without the aid of medication and your symptoms are mild and improving. So remember, when you're riding in the elevator with Todd from accounting and he's coughing all the way to the 10th floor, it's fine as long as he was worse yesterday. There's going to be a new person. What else has changed? Is this there's going to be a new person overseeing elections for the GOP soon because reportedly Ronna McDaniel is stepping down as chair of the Republican National Committee, and Donald Trump wants to replace her with North Carolina GOP chair and coworker who just found out there was an office Christmas party last year. Michael Whatley. But the really interesting story here is who Trump reportedly wants to make co-chair, because it's none other than his daughter-in-law and woman who thought Get Out was a rom-com, Lara Trump. Now, many folks are saying this choice reeks of corruption. And in response to her critics, Lara released this statement.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down.
Still slaps. As in, I feel like I'm being slapped. Trump said this about the endorsement.
Lara is an extremely talented communicator and is dedicated to all that MAGA stands for. She has told me she wants to accept this challenge and would be great. Every penny will be used properly. Yes, it's true. Every penny will be used. Every penny. No, folks, listen up. Listen, every penny. Look, every penny will be used properly. All the folding money will be misappropriated because Daddy's got legal bills. I say, why stop with Lara? A future Trump administration could have Jared as chief of staff, Ivanka as ambassador to the UN, and Don Jr. as head of the DEA, the Drug Enjoyment Agency. Folks are still rattled by Trump's statement that he would encourage Russia to do what it wanted to our NATO allies. And I'm being told right now that Putin has pushed France out of a window. Well, now we have an update from former National Security Advisor and Colonel Sanders' brother who went to Kentucky Fried Law School, John Bolton. In an upcoming book, Bolton predicts that if Trump is elected, NATO would be in real jeopardy. I think he would try to get out. And you know he wouldn't do it to their face. He would just send NATO one of those Pizza Hut breakup pizzas. This is such a shocking idea that President Biden took a break from succumbing to entropy to express his opinion.
It's dumb, it's shameful, it's dangerous, it's un-American.
Strong words, Joe. And coincidentally, Trump's new campaign slogan. Oh, the ratings are in from the Super Bowl, and it was super. In fact, Super Bowl 58 was the most watched program ever. It's no surprise.
Wow.
No surprise you had your football fans, plus all the folks tuning in to catch a glimpse of a global megastar. Tracker. Your glasses were on top of your head the whole time. The game was watched by 123.4 million average viewers.
Wow.
And who knows how many really hot ones. Oh, today is Mardi Gras. Today is Mardi Gras, my friends. Happy Mardi Gras. Happy Mardi Gras. Tomorrow is Ash Wednesday, the first day of Lent, which this year falls on Valentine's Day, which explains why one of the most popular gifts for Catholic lovers is an empty box with a note, "You gave up chocolate for Lent." And that is actually a budget-conscious choice this year because cocoa prices have spiked to an all-time high. You can learn all about it in the new Netflix crime drama, Narcocos. But the biggest candy news this holiday is that Sweethearts is updating its famous Valentine's conversation heart candy. Fingers crossed they finally found the perfect ratio of chalk to baby powder. The actual change is to the text of the candy. Sweethearts will now offer special hearts with messages for people who are in situationships. Now, if you're not sure if your relationship is a situationship, it's a situationship. Or if you add a third person, a menage a whatevs. The new situationship candy hearts look like this, with the tagline, "Messages as blurry as your relationship." First of all, blurry text is a cop-out. They're clearly trying to unload all their misprints. Second, there are plenty of messages that could accurately describe your situationship, like, "Miss you when drunk." "We're bored and both home for the holidays," and "I will never know your middle name." We got a great show for you tonight. My guests are Matt Damon and Ghost Danielle Pinnock.